Bear diarrhea. Oh, shit. Don't hit my line, because clearly you'll be fine. Oh, shit. You know what would look good on you? Oh, you know. But, anyway. You like tea? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Sweet baby girl. Yeah. Like I said, Ben and Ryan, fucking faggot ass, trolls, doing what they do. I'm sorry, did you just say troll? Good old, sweet Katie Boo, she was dressed in all purple. I remember that dream that I had. Regarding Bob's. Where she was in a purple phone. With her legs up. Had the pussy puff, That was a weird dream. It was like a four house, apartment complex. Made out of brick. Walked up the one side over to the other, and I don't know if she was, my girlfriend or a prostitute or what, but there was two dudes, and I had an AK rubber bander under my shirt, with a foldable stock, and I, went over theirs, and then all of a sudden it was like an Elmer Fudd, shoddy. Only it was like 10 feet long. And instead of, breaking open the back, and putting in two shells, there was a bunch of shells, that like popped out underneath, like 10, and I, like a little shot glass. And then I turned around and beat the shit out of them with the butt, the stock, the rubber bander, and just like a video game, they were all bloodied and busted up, and they just sort of disappeared. They were on the stairs, and that was a weird dream. I generally don't remember my dreams, but that was one, that I remembered. I've got like 10 dreams that I just like remember, that are just a part of my memory. I remember one dream I was storming the beaches of, D-Day, during WW2. And I had a plastic paintball rubber bander, and it was clear plastic, and it was full of bubble gum. Like the paint, instead of paintballs, it was bubble gum. So that's like the equivalent of being naked, in public, that whole dream. I'd say I'd never have a dream where I was falling, and you wake up before you hit the ground, but that actually happened to me the other day. Yeah, I woke up and there was like a knife stuck in the wall. So that's weird. One time I woke up and I didn't recognize anything. I was looking up at the ceiling, and I looked to the left and I looked to the right, and I had no idea what the hell I was looking at. And then all of a sudden, I came to, and it's like, oh, well, okay. That's weird. I did have sleep paralysis once. That happened to me once. And I didn't have like something on my chest or anything. I just couldn't move. And then, and then I came to it, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're good. So that did happen to me once. One time I woke up and I saw 3 shadow people standing in the corner, and I got up so fast, that my bedding, my pillows and stuff, were, all over the room, and I started speaking gibberish, speaking tongues, whatever, you want to say, blah, 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 blah. I was in that crouching, I kind of like, had my hand out, and I was like, woo, 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 and then it just disappeared. So I don't know if that was a dream or whatever. And then I had a dream one time where I was watching myself sleep, and I was in the same spot that the shadow people were in. So that's cray-cray, I had a dream one time where I was running from a bear, and I hopped on a sled, and it was like, I went down a mountain, and it was like, it was on rails, like roller coaster rails, and I went down on the lake, and I skipped across the lake like a, flat rock. I had a dream one time where I was in a floating castle. And it was it was dirty water. It was like brown, and I was on the football team. It was whatever. One time I had a dream where I was in a room, and there was 2 beds, and they were like single beds, single, thin, beds, and there was a window, and it was at ground level. It was like on the floor. And my girlfriend was actually a chick I used to stalk, quote unquote, I christened her as Button Butt. She lived up in Oregon, and she was just so what have you. And there was a bunch of like knives. There was like swords, long swords, short swords. I remember there was like a letter opener, and I had them all laid out, you know. And I don't, watch a lot of movies or play video games or whatever, so whatever. Where these dreams come from, but like I said, my most recent one that I remember, because like I said, I generally don't remember my dreams, so when I do, it's kind of like, I note that, it's like, shit, I remembered that dream. The one where, again, there was a broad, I gave her a hug and a kiss, and she was like my girlfriend or whatever, and she had shoulder length hair, and I believe she was actually blonde, and I don't like blondes. And there was like a cannon, and it was like a like a medieval style cannon, but it was like made out of like a speaker that you'd like a radio, you know what I mean, music. So that was kind of weird. Yeah. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I checked the grams. Bundle baby. Ooh. Damn, girl. We should get together. Do our thing. Rub my dick on you and all that, So. No holds barred, no strings attached, just fucky. Let's do it up. I'm still down for that. I talk this mess, about blah, 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 troll this, troll that, but I'm still totally down to rub my dick on you, so. And, Bunny Humper, I could love you, if you want to, And, Katie Boo, Don't hit my line. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Hello. I'll make sure of that. You think it could be something, I mean, what? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, girl? Let's make it real. You still live over there in Delaware, Maryland. Yeah, Maryland. I had said that in an audio presentation. I was like, you live over there? And I know, fuck, I was like, oh, fuck you. He shouldn't die. I'm only interested in your tits, no more, no less. So, you see, I unsubscribed, That means, people who are stalking me know who the fuck you is. It's like, shit. Like I said, some pictures, it's like, it's decent. Others, it's like, whoa, no. Well, it's kind of like Mrs. Butthead, I guess. that broad. Yeah, I called up theirs the other days, because I wanted to roll over and, my money, Shit. That's a decent chunk of change. It's mine, it's 401k and whatnot, and they're like, hey, we got this shit. And I'm like, I got my own shit. Let's roll that over into my shit. So I did that just the other day, so I'm a little bit richer. Because what have you, my last company, they're like, woo, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm not eligible for that. And then, of course, I got fired, and I was like, you know what, I should probably what have you. And there's rules and stuff, you don't want to just cash out, they take tens of thousands of dollars, as a penalty, You can only, like I said, you can only, pay yourself, like $2,000 a month, maximum, this, that, and the other. And there's rules as far as that game goes. And, like I said, I should be a millionaire right now. I should be retired, but I'm not. First world problems, boo. Shucks. I ain't got $1 million to my name. Shucks. But, anyway. Bunny Humper, how you doing? Come on with your ass now. Don't hit my line. Okay. Just saying. Anyway. You want to cuddle? You want to snuggle? Oh, shit. Girly girl. Yes. I'm looking at you. I'm gonna need a little bit more, darling. Oh, okay. What do you want? What do you need? What do you... Don't waste my time. I'll make sure that we get back in line. All right. I like you. What are you doing with yourself these days? Yeah.